There's a viewer discretion advised I'm putting out right now for anybody younger than 17 plus or 18 plus, matters on how your parents look at you and your maturity rate. This is graphic violence in very, very bloody situations with not graphic language, just graphic disturbing images. And of course, sexual themes are a part, but there's no nudity at all, just graphic violence. Let me repeat this again. There is graphic violence. This is a horror LP, and it is for mature audiences only. Thank you. Hello, my humans. Welcome back to another fabulous video here on my channel. Of course, this is Screen Break. I have to remember that. And it's giving a lot of issues. I think it's locked. So we're going to switch lots really, really soon because Lawrence here just figured out his best friend is dead. Yes, they just figured out Sam was murdered. Cold-bloodedly. Oh, there's Susan. Oh gosh. She is, like I said, they're all glitching out. But there's Sam's grave. The killer placed it there particularly, for reasons we don't know. But he did, or she did, or they did. Who knows? But I do know that due to this, they are on the hunt. They're scared. They just got the call. Parker just got the call that his girlfriend is murdered. She was murdered in her home, stabbed to death several times, and he is freaking out. And he's like, "We should go home. Yeah, I need to be there for her funeral." And they're all like, "We can't go home because there's no way to get home. Not for another 2 weeks." That's why they came during their spring break. There's a way to get there and she missed her flight type thing. There's no way to go back, basically. There's a way to come, not a way to go. And which they thought was really stupid, but they knew that that was a possibility in which they had. And so they're all like, okay, fine, let's all split up. Now, of course, this is a horror movie trope, and I'm playing with those a lot in this LP, and so this cliche will come up eventually, and again, and again, and again, because every horror movie, they always split up, and every horror movie, that's how they die. So, who will die today? I don't know. There's a poll on the screen right now. If you want to click on the name you think could be who could die, and there's also another poll who you think could be the killer. There's only been one episode, and I didn't really give you a lot of evidence. So these are the people, who, possibly could or could not be the killer, obviously. We have 5 more players in the game today, and the people who are going to be splitting up, we'll talk about when we go into manage. No, we're just going to hit M. Okay, it's going to open the map. Also, Windenburg seems to mess up a lot when I record, so that could also be it. But yeah, so Parker's like, okay, we need to split up. I've never really visited the town, they're like. And they're like, oh, okay. And so, one person is going to go to the market. A group of people. 2 people in particular to go to the market. Parker himself, which we're on, is going to go to the market. It's not Parker, is it? It's Matthew. I'm sorry. Matthew, wrong LP. Actually, wrong household. Been playing a lot of Sims today. Matthew and our good old friend Miko here are going to go to the market. Then Taylor. Oh, wait a minute. Where's Nicholas? Is not. It's his dad. That's why. I'm like, what's going on here? Nicholas is not part of my group here. Okay, Miko's going to go to market, and they're going to go explore the woods. Susan, Taylor, and Lawrence. So I'll be right back. And who do you think in this little cut break thing, which is going to be 2 seconds for you, but not, for me. Who do you think is the person we're going to follow? Ask yourself that in 2 seconds. Okay, we are here with Taylor, Lawrence, and Susan. Yes, these are the characters we're going to be following today. Miko and Matthew will meet up next week and see what they have discovered, because obviously they must have discovered something, right? Or maybe they didn't. Who knows? We'll find out next week. This story, of course, is a turn to them in particular. Taylor here is showing Lawrence the photos, but Lawrence isn't really taking them. He doesn't really care about Taylor. Taylor's the oddball out, guys. Or one of the oddballs. Her and Miko are basically the oddballs, I guess you could say, of the group. They got really close with Matthew. She got really close with Matthew. Matthew introduced them all. But she really, really likes Sam. And so she's going through a really rough time. and she's trying to cheer herself up by being around people, yet people like Susan, who's malicious, horrible, not the nicest, would probably murder you without even thinking twice, like in school, by saying mean things, would rather not really hunt for a killer. She would rather enjoy her summer break, or her spring break. This is over spring break, not summer break, which is understandable. And she called Lawrence over the night and said, you know, you should totally come into my room. And her and Lawrence decided, yeah, okay, I think I accept this. And so her and Lawrence became a thing overnight. Like, they're not like a passionate, like, you know, the fire of these embers will burn bright. Passionate, but they're big enough to say that maybe they just want to be themselves. And Taylor, I don't know, Taylor's not about that life. Taylor wants to know who murdered her friend, her best friend. And so Taylor is going to go jogging. I don't really think that's something Taylor would do, but this is a symbol of her trying to figure out things. So go with me here. So she's going to go jogging by herself, away from them. And they're like, maybe we should find a place to get more cozier, like a bush. And there's a few bushes, as you guys can see, around the place. And so maybe they'll hop in one to spice some things up. And look at them. They're a very cute couple, but they're not a couple, like I said. They're just flings. And I think Taylor would be that person who would just have like a fling than anything else, where she would hide behind everything just because it's a fling, you know. Well, they can't do anything yet. That's a bit disappointing here. Like, she had a thing with Sam, a tiny thing, a very, very tiny thing with Sam. Sam is dead. She moved on to Lawrence. That's a bit fishy. I don't know. Don't you guys think it's a bit fishy? I think, oh, where is she at? A different place? Interesting. I find it to be a bit fishy. And they're all portraying their own life. And so Taylor is gone. She's running away. Well, she's not running away. She's just in a different place. But this place holds campers. This, my friend, is a campsite on the island. There's a few of these that we'll come across, but this one in particular holds some unique campers. Like I said, unique is the right word here, I think. Javier tried to come and talk to us, but they were obviously mourning a loss of their own. And I think, so she has decided she needs to take a little break from hunting, and she's going to go fishing. Why? Because, I don't know, maybe her and her dad like to go fishing. I think she only has a mom. Oh, no, her and her sister, because, you know, oh, okay, we didn't really go in backstories happily. We should do that, but why shouldn't we? Okay, Taylor is, oh, okay, look at this. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. They cannot move. Okay, Taylor, on one hand, okay, she lives with her sister. I'll pull up her family tree thing. Just give me a second. She lives with her sister, Helena Willis, who's a totally different girl than her. They're totally different people, but, you know, Helena, okay? And I think Helena might be a cop, if I'm not mistaken. I can't really remember that. Maybe that's Lawrence's family. One of them are cops. Can't really remember, guys. So, my point being, she was there. Her dad left them when they were really young. Her mom died of cancer when she was 13. Her sister is much older than her. When her mom died, her sister was 17. They went to foster care for 1 year. When her sister got out, she got a job. She took care of them. She got out of foster care. She took them both. And she rebelled. It's just simple. Taylor rebelled. She got into drugs. Well, not drugs. She got into drinking. You know, what The Sims has to offer as drugs, into the bubble blowing and all this other stuff. And her sister was really worried, but didn't really question too much. She had great friends. I mean, she did have great friends who cared about her. Or one friend, I guess, who cared about her, which is Matthew. Matthew extremely cared about her, like with a strong passion. Not like a lover's passion, just like a passion, okay, about him. And not like, okay, for instance, not like their passion over here, which I'm just gonna keep queuing up things to keep the ball rolling. Oh, okay, so that's probably why. We're gonna have the first kiss. I don't really need pictures of that. It's not important to the story. Actually, you know what? I might need a picture. But so they had to fight for themselves, Taylor and her sister, and it became a struggle for a long, long time. But where they're at right now, I think they're pretty well off. They're pretty good where they're at. Nothing too much of a struggle will happen, you know, except this murder that has taken their town, which is interesting, you know. Obviously, they had their first kiss because they had the woohoo last night, guys. But for sense purposes, they said they didn't. So, back over here to Taylor, who decided to go fishing. Not because she wanted to go fishing, just because she could. And it's a great way to, you know, relieve her mind of things. So, in which it did. It did relieve her mind of things. Oh, guys. Who's here, though? It's the killer. Which is sad. You know? And some other backstories, I guess we could tell while we're in here. This could be, you know, each episode could be dedicated to a character. And which this week's, it was Taylor. Taylor had her own character. Don't think this is a killer, the character we get to talk about. The day is the person who dies, okay? I have an LP plan for that. Not this one. JK. I don't, actually, so don't expect that either. But the killer. And which he has a trait, by this way. And, it's a he, by the way, the character. I don't know, I chose a random sim off. A randomized sim. And it just happened to be a girl. I mean, a guy. So, yeah. And has killer. And this is all the traits and everything. Named the killer. So, basically, there's no way you guys figuring out. That's the whole point of this. But for him, you know, what is their reasoning to do this? Who knows? I don't really know. Do we know? But she, of course, is going to get stabbed. And, yeah. I wish there's a few more interactions, because, like, slit throat or something like that. I don't know. I wish. But there isn't. Actually, you know what? I think Taylor would put up a good fight. Personally, I think she would. So we're going to actually exit out of that. We're going to come over here. There's a few other interactions we can do. Some deadly with the chance of survival interactions. We can, or deadly interactions. Accused of being a murderer. Non-deadly. Okay, so deadly, we're going to choke her to death. She could die from this. She could not. I don't know. We'll find out. But she doesn't know. Now, I think she would have the realization on her face of who it is. Where she's like, it's you. You know, and that common moment in that movie, that horror film that you watch, I think she would have. And I don't think she expected this to happen. But I think she does know who it is. And of course, like I said, there are several possibilities of who it could be. There's also a few possibilities of who it couldn't be. But then again, don't rule out anybody if you've ever seen a horror film. It's always weird where the killer could be and kill not be. So, yes, don't rule out anybody. Just roll it up to you. And she's like, oh my gosh, oh, see how the color just drains from her? It's very cool interaction. I think they did a very nice job. Personally, I think they did a very, very nice job. But, oh, okay, hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Is she just dazed? Because I can't have... Okay, she is just dazed. This is... But, like I said, she would be the one... Like, I think she would come back, right? And she would fight back. She wouldn't be the one who would run away. She would fight back. Okay, and I can't do anything like too big, so we're gonna try bully. I don't actually know what bully entails here. Oh my gosh, what does bully entail? Intimidate, beat it up, intimidate, punch. Oh my gosh. Is there gonna be another one of those punches? Because I think that would be great. Wow, was not prepared for that. Okay. Oh, hold on. Killer can't be sad. Seriously. Let's get rid of that, because that can't happen. Okay, in pain is fine. I think that's reasonable. But I think he would obviously come back with, dude, I tried this, and, you know. Yeah, okay. Turn around. Come on. Come on, big boy. Where are you going? Stop it. Stop moving. I wish he would just stop moving. Okay, freaking out. Okay, this must be the whole interaction of bully. I don't really, you know, use bully that often, but I might. Oh, God. Okay. Here we go. And, you know. How do you guys feel about her dying? I don't know. I'll tell you this much. In first rewrites of the first script of this that I planned out, she did not die here, by the way. So, she died later on. She did die. She was always slated to die, but it was not until like 3 rewrites later that she died in this section. Oh my gosh. What? Okay, hold on. Susan can't come over here. Okay, thank God. No, stop beating him up. This is very interesting. Okay, I was not prepared for this. Stop beating him up. Gosh, dang it. Woman. Alright, we're gonna get rid of it. Okay, we're gonna... Is that what happened? Like... Ooh, take revenge. There we go. There we go. I like that. Alright, we're gonna have to go backwards. Skip ahead a little. Oh, there's Taylor. Okay, Taylor. That makes me uncomfortable. Okay, hold on. Jump back over here to Lawrence. Boom, teleport here. Thank you. See how much easier this works? I really do believe it's a lot. Add some fuel and dance. And we're gonna have him, of course. We're gonna have him dance as well. So, yep. That way they're all partying. Okay, and we can't miss the revenge. Okay, let's very quickly him freak out. Blah 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 blah. I don't really care. Turn around. Nope. Okay, they're coming over here. I mean, that was not the plan either. There's people, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, if Taylor beats him up again, I don't really. Oh, nope. He has a knife. Oh gosh, guys, are you prepared for this? I'm not. I don't know what's gonna happen. Oh my. Okay, so you know, Taylor's not making out of this one, but she did put up a good fight. In her defense, fighting always wins. Oh gosh. Okay, maybe fighting doesn't win because fighting did not win there. And the sound effects are very, very graphic, by the way. But on that note, of course, we're gonna jump over here to them, in which they don't know their friend just got murdered in front of them. Well, murdered because of their fault. I mean, it's simple. It's a very, very simple time where Susan didn't want to hunt for a killer. And she wanted to spend time with Lawrence because she thought this could be a budding romance. And Lawrence is like, hit that thing on the side. I think so. You know, to the point of where I think they're going to go hit that thing on the side type thing, you know? I think that's where they would go. I think that's what they would do. In this situation, they would go and do that. And I don't think Lawrence would be against it either. Obviously, Susan's is not against it. Okay, we need to totally, like, mark out Lawrence here. We'll have you go home. But yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. Oh god, that's cute. Oh, hold on. Give me a second. Gotta jump over to where Okay. Because I need certain things. But yeah, I don't know. What you guys think? Do you think she deserved to die? Huh? Did I give enough backstory? I mean, she grew up in a horrible, horrible lifestyle. She did not deserve to die. No one deserves to die. No sin deserves to get murdered. But she did get murdered. Ultimately, that was the case here. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please give me a big fat thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below. And I saw a lot of things I didn't know I was going to today. So we both were very impacted on this revelations. So yeah. And there will be more to come. 3 more weeks. And like 2 more weeks and the killer will be revealed in the 3rd. Can't wait to see you guys. Love you all. Bye-bye.